So thank you for doing Yin Yoga with Patrice. We're going to work on the spine today with 4 postures. Just 4, but we hold them for a little amount of time just to let the compression work, let the body soften into the pose and let the breath come inside and for the body to feel the benefit afterwards. So taking yourself down to the floor, we're going to do the first pose, which is called butterfly. So firstly, get a nice long spine, breathe in to the belly and soften the breath. And then we're going to get our legs into a position that works best for us. If you bring your feet closer to the body, you get a deep stretch in the groin. The further away, you get a stretch more into the back. So get your legs aligned for what feels good for you. Maybe you just rock across the sit bones to start with. And then slowly take the body down, bit by bit, little by little. So just going into this posture, really slowly, 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 melting over the legs. This will stretch the spine and open the groin. Our lumbar region of the back often takes a lot of strain. And stretching it is important. And giving yourself time to get into a posture is also important. Just slowing the breath, slowing the mind. Try to visualize what's happening in the vertebrae of your spine as you melt slowly and deeply down. You'll find the vertebrae are opening a little more as you make space. Maybe draw the tummy in. It helps to bend the back. Let's soften your position as you melt deeply over the legs. Let the neck go. Don't hold any tension. So let the neck just relax. Cervical spine, the vertebrae in the neck is an extension of your entire spine or unit. And try to still drop the shoulders away from the ears. Try not to hold any tension across the shoulder blades, making that nice gap between the ears and the shoulders. Remember your breath. Breath is important in yoga. So you might want to do a ujjayi breath. So that's like snoring sound. If that breath pattern doesn't work for you, try breathing in for a count of 3. And then as you breathe out a count of 4. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. If that pattern doesn't work for you, you can choose any alternate pattern. Breathing in and then breathing out. Just try, if you can, to make the out breath a longer breath than the in breath. And you might find as the breath is working, you can come lower into your posture.
Try not to fidget here, just try to let the body soften, let the length come down into that lumbar region of the spine, stretching across the sacrum. And the inner groin area. So a couple more breaths in this posture. Breathing in, breathing out, really slowly out. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then gently come back up. Use your hands and draw your tummy in to protect your back. As you lengthen back up, leave the head down to be the last thing that comes back up. And then stack the spine as you come up and lengthen. Now as a counter stretch, take your knees together, roll yourself back on your mat and draw your legs in and just rock out the spine. Just gently, side to side. And then, if you can, just rock yourself up and back across that sacrum. And back and up to seated. So from here, we're going to go into caterpillar, which is stretching the hamstrings, and it will also stretch that lower back again. So this is all spinal stretches. So depending on your body and your skeleton, you might want your feet hip distance apart and soft, but still take the butt cheeks away from the sit bones. Flex the feet. I'm going to draw my feet a little bit together here. And if you can, if you find your feet are pronating, try to bring them back round. So you've got nice flexed feet, so all the muscles are working to keep the feet in alignment as well as the rest of the body. So from here we soften over. Again, keep a long back to start with and you walk yourself down. Try to let pressure go here. Don't hold tension in the hip flexors. Just soften into the pose and breathe. So again, you can draw the tummy in gently to protect the back. We're going to walk ourselves down using our hands to help us think about where we're going. Eye gaze is soft. We're looking down into our knees, or close the eyes. Just feel yourself softly coming down. And when you've got as far as you can go, just stay in that position. We don't need our head on our knees. You go to where is right for you. And obviously if you can get your head on your knees, that's absolutely fine. But the aim is to stretch your back, so we're stretching in this lower lumbar region of our back here. So you might want to wriggle a little bit just to get a bit more length in the spine. Your ribs may soften a little bit more if you just wiggle from side to side. And then you find eventually you soften a bit into the pose. Again, keep those legs active if you can. Flex the feet. And you find they become a bit lower towards the floor maybe. And have another few breaths here. Try to push the legs into the floor. So lengthen through the knees. So maybe one at a time. Flex one leg and then the other. So flexing into the foot as if you're creeping along the floor. And you find you may get a little bit lower. Just softening into the posture. If you wish, you can take your hands to your feet. If that works for you, you can put them on the top of the feet. Again, eye gaze is still down into the knees, stretching the back and the hamstrings. We'll draw the tummy in, and you may get a little lower. Soften the ribs down as you come down. Come to the deepest posture for you, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe. So breathe the tension out, Breathing in, breathing out. Make the breath work for the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, breathing out. So again, draw your tummy in deeply now. Just make sure you're getting that stretch into the back of the spine. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe. Our breath is our most important tool in yoga. Breath takes us to where we can get to in our bodies. And breathe. Now you may slowly start to come back up. So gently walking yourself back. Again, using your hands, push yourself up gently. Draw your tummy in to protect your back. Keep your head down. Keep your head down. This is the last thing that stacks back up. And there we are. And again, we're coming down onto our backs as a counter stretch. So all very slowly, you've been in a deep posture. Slowly down to the ground. Take the knees in and rock out your back from side to side. So the next posture for our spine is a back bend. So this is our seal pose. So coming down, lower yourself down. And for this one, you may find your hands can be quite far forward of your head. So maybe put your forehead to the floor and then just test this. So have your feet hip distance apart, pubic bone deep into the floor, and then gently lift yourself up as if you're rolling a marble with the nose, and then come up and see how your back feels. Again, you might want to move around a little bit, one shoulder dips the other shoulder, and then bring yourself up to a position that you feel you can sustain. And still draw the tummy in here, and then lower back down and just feel what that was like. And then maybe try with your hands a bit closer to your shoulders. Again, push deeply into the pubic bone and then lift and shoulders back and down. Now that might feel better. Personally, for me, I like my hands further forwards. So we're going to hold this pose for a little while. So again, I'm getting my pubic bone deep into the floor, lengthen my back, rolling a marble with my nose, bringing myself up. And I'm going to have my hands stretched in front of me, but a slight bend in my elbows here. And I'm going to draw my tummy up. So draw the abdominal muscles in to protect the back in this deep back bend. And the shoulders, I'm going to sink into my shoulders a minute, and I'm going to lengthen up and shoulders back and down. And I'm going to draw my tummy in again. I'm also going to lengthen my legs along the floor. So making my glutes active to protect my back, my tummy is active to protect my back, but I'm having quite a deep back bend here. My neck is also in a good position, my eye gaze is slightly forwards and down, and breathe. So the arms are doing some of the work here, but this is a deep back bend. I've got quite an arched back anyway, so I really feel this compression in my spine. But compression for the spine is healthy. It's good for the spine, a little compression. Obviously, if you've got a bad back, please be very cautious with any of these exercises. But if you've got a healthy spine and a healthy back, this just helps maintain it. So we'll hold this posture for a bit longer. And again, like the other exercises, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Yeah. And maybe try to make your out breath slightly longer. Breathing in, breathing out for a longer breath. So in, 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3,
in, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you may find, we've been here for a while, you might be able to get a little bit longer or closer into that back bend. So bringing the hands closer in and maybe hold for one more breath. In, 1, 2, 3, and out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw the tummy in as we lower ourselves down. Now lowering very slowly, slowly bring the arms down underneath the body into a Sphinx posture. And then take the head in alignment and lower yourself down. Now take the forehead onto the hands. Take the legs long. So just lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And just staying where you are with the forehead on the hands. Flex the right foot for me. Kick the buttock. Point the foot and lower. Kick the left foot, flex the foot, kick towards the buttock. Point and lower. Just give a little bit of relief to the work we've just done. So we flex the right foot, kick the buttock, lengthen the toes and lower. Flex the left foot, kick the buttock, lengthen and lower. And our finale, maybe take the legs together. If you haven't got any problems with your back, if you've got problems with your back at all, have a nice wide position in the legs. But if your back is nice and strong, so breathe in to prepare, and then flex both feet, kick the buttock, lengthen the feet and lower. So kick and lower. And then push ourselves back into our child pose to give our back a rest. And this also stretches our spine in the opposite direction of what we've just done. So we've done a deep compression into the lumbar region of the spine there. And now going back into child is the opposite, opening the back and having a nice stretch. So just have a couple of breaths here. Maybe working to stretch the fingertips stretch through the fingertips back into the shoulders, and then take the arms behind. And just to finish off, take the forehead to the floor and just stretch out the shoulders as well. And we've worked mainly for the spine, but there's no harm in having a stretch for the arms as well, whilst we're here. And up we come slowly, 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 using the tummy to help you up. And I'll just come back round and shaky, shaky, shaky. Maybe just have a little bit of mobilization here. And thank you for doing yoga with Patrice. Namaste. I'm done.